indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before we get started, I want to get a motion to go into emergency executive session to discuss legal advice on an employee issue. Make a motion.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
So we're going in now?
No, at the end.
At the end.
All right, so we're going to go over the charter review amendments that have been submitted to the council. So I guess, Cindy, this would be where you would take over and walk us through these.
Okay, so the first one, I'm sure you guys have had this now for about a month to go through and look at it. Section 101, the incorporation and general powers. What you see in red is the suggested change in the charter. So I didn't know if you all had any concerns or...
Yes, I actually have a statement that I'd like to read for the public record. For the record, I would like to address the proposed charter amendments. I support reviewing and updating our charter where needed, but after reviewing these proposed changes, I believe we need to take a step back and ask a bigger question before continuing. And the question is Greensboro's current strong mayor structure still the right form of government for this town? Because what these amendments have revealed is not just outdated wording or technical cleanup. They have highlighted larger concerns about authority, oversight, accountability, and balance of power. That includes concerns over executive authority, council oversight, access to records needed to perform legislative duties, budget and financial transparency, and authority over personnel, contracts, and administration. Those are not small issues. Those are structural issues. As council members, we are expected to make budget decisions, review public spending, and act in the best interest of the residents we serve. But to do that properly, council must have a clear oversight and clear access to the information necessary to make informed decisions. And when that becomes unclear, difficult, or inconsistent, we need to be honest about what that means. It may mean the issue is not just the wording of the charter. It may mean the structure itself needs to be reconsidered. Because in Greensboro, we have already seen how unclear lines of authority can create problems in areas like financial oversight, administrative transparency, contracts, personnel matters, and access to records. If those issues continue to come up, then I believe we owe it to the public to ask whether this system is still serving the town the way it should. That is why I believe Greensboro should seriously consider whether moving toward a weak mayor system or another more balanced structure should happen before we continue to make broader charter revisions. Because if we are going to revise the charter, we should make sure that we are not just rewriting the same structural problems into a new draft. Before we decide how to revise the charter, we should first decide whether we are preserving the right system in the first place. And then I did submit some revisions of my own based on those observations.
Could I ask for, just in general, there's some sections, and I've only reviewed maybe a third of it because I didn't want to get ahead of you. If we could just talk about why certain language was dropped or as we go through. So like, for instance, the first paragraph, the to plead and be impleaded in any court of law or equity is a phrase that's not in the red language. That may be fine. I just wanted to understand the reason for language changes or omissions, and then I can go back and see if that's language that has to be included or is okay to be updated to more 21st century speak.
When I went through and took each section, I looked at the law and looked at how we could rephrase it. When I did this and sent it out to mayor and council, I also sent it to Lindsay. Lindsay did come back and ask me if she wanted her legal opinion on that. I said yes, and I never heard back. Okay. So,
well, I'll look into it then.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right,
Okay.
continue on.
All right. So moving forward, In section 101, incorporation and general powers, didn't know if there was any questions or any concerns about the rewrite. Of course, like I said, Jen is going to take a look at that, but overall, staying consistent with updated language and laws. You will have to make a recommendation on what you feel we would like us to say, other than what I have put here.
I don't feel like we can make educated, without legal. We're putting the cart before the horse.
Well, what I can do is you can say, yes, this language looks reasonable, or no, I want it to say something else, and then I can go back and do the check to see if it is allowed or if it's something that you can change in a certain way. I didn't think it made sense for me to spend time reviewing it if I was gonna come here and you would say, no, we like it the way it is, we don't wanna change that. So I can spend my time just reviewing the sections that you all.
Well, I can tell you that when I did reach out to the mayor did want legal involved in it, but like I said, Dan, I got nothing back, I wasn't sure. And so, moving forward with this.
I mean, I don't know the time frame of when you shared it with Lindsay.
It's
All I
been
can
over-
tell you is,
Been over a month ago, before the first meeting that was held on this.
I think I was on vacation that meeting, is that right?
Yeah, we probably would.
Okay, I didn't understand that you wanted me to review this before today's meeting. I asked you what the agenda was, and you said they're going over the charter amendment. So I didn't want to spend your money before you told me what to spend it on.
Well, like I said, I sent it to Lindsay. I don't know if you were on that email when I said it, and she did respond back that she would take care of it, so.
So are also we not going to have a discussion at all as a council about these concerns before we jump into this, or we're gonna take it section by section? And
Are you talking about with your statement, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Or are we gonna raise it
Section
then?
by section.
Okay, but I'll more closely dissect it instead of making a broad
Well, I mean,
statement.
can we make, if we see any changes, make any changes to it, and then let her read it, adopt them into it, and then review it again,
Right.
just,
Right.
That's the whole point of
So
tonight,
like
is to
101,
review.
does anybody have a problem with 101?
The whole idea behind tonight is to review these,
It's
get a
on
general
the calendar,
consensus,
so
then have you take a look at it to see if there's any legal issues that we really need to. We wanted, if anything jumped out, then Lynn could point it out, but since we don't
Yeah.
have that, we can continue to move forward with it.
And I've gotten through about a third of it to see what has jumped out. I wasn't sure how far you all would get tonight, so I didn't want to get ahead of you, and I didn't want to spend your money. So
Okay.
so to be honest, this is a lot of information. I haven't been at this for years. So I used software to help me scan this. And the question that I asked it was to please scan the amendments and to point out any conflicts with state law, not beneficial to town residents, or could impede council decisions. And it came back with some major red flags. Conflicting with Maryland law, or a tighter legal review needed, that some of it is not favorable to residents and public transparency, and that it's likely to create governance bottlenecks and reduce council authority and practice. And it also, in part, gives the town manager and the mayor more authority. So, those are my concerns.
if you have specific state laws that came
Okay.
up and you
Like I
want
said, I will literally take this section by section and break down all of them.
So for section 101, the plead and be impleaded in a court of law or equity is what I'm going to look at, because that's been omitted from the red language. It may be fine, I just need to go see if that is somehow required or not.
All right. Section 102, filling of corporate boundary descriptions. Do I have any issue with that?
Do you have anything, Jen?
I said, okay, I got the clerk report and all that.
And then the next section is 200, which is the composition of the council, and 201 talks about terms, which are 4-year terms on the first Tuesday of May.
So that's wrong.
I meant to draw that. It's actually the first Tuesday in November.
Correct.
It used to be May.
Correct.
Because you used to vote in April.
The other issue is section 201 as currently written says composition selection terms. I see that the edits have broken that out into composition, qualifications, election, and terms, but there are also two sections that are not accounted for in the titles. One is the qualifications of council members. So you're changing section 202 to say election and terms. We can add the word qualifications or make a 203 that's qualifications. And same for forfeiture of office. That's not addressed in any of the titles. So we could add forfeiture of office to one of the titles. We could make it another section.
So you're saying just take the one and just make it another section for qualifications and then put another portion for,
Yeah, we could renumber the sections and create new sections that are a section specific to qualifications of council members, a section specific to forfeiture of office, and I think that was it. It's mostly just making sure that the title of the section reflects the entirety of the
Right.
topics within the section.
that's fine. I don't have a problem with that.
So I can combine those and make a longer title, or I can create new sections.
Do you all want them in separate sections, or do you want them in one additional?
I mean, I think the separate section sticks out better to me.
The forfeiture of office, item number 1, final conviction of a felony or crime involving moral turpitude. There's not a problem with having a restriction of that nature, but that's a pretty vague statement. Was the felony 25 years ago? Was it something pardoned by the governor but not yet expunged from the record? If you want to make sure that item number 1 is still in here, you might think about more specifics to how you want to have that crime.
Put maybe a time frame.
A
type of
time
thing on there,
frame.
like 5 years or whatever.
Yeah, and it's also, oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. This is if it just happens during,
Now,
while they're
if
in office.
you read this,
Yeah,
this is when they're elected, and then
Yes.
this occurs. It's not their history.
right,
Yeah, okay.
you are correct.
So if I caught a felony last year and ran for council this year, I can still get on the council?
As long as it hadn't you hadn't exhausted all your appeals or gotten a final determination.
Gotcha.
Yep. In item number 2,
So what happens if you're convicted if you're elected, then you lose your seat?
in item number 2, it says the authorized body, the council member has committed a serious violation of the town's ethics code that warrants removal. There isn't anything in the ethics code that specifically
Spells
is
out.
enumerated as a serious violation, and the ethics council can only recommend to you all that a certain kind of punishment or consequence occur. So the ethics code and the ethics commission themselves don't make that decision.
So right now, there is no ability to remove a council person for any reason.
No, I thought there was,
It's in-
So what if I decided not to come to 20 meetings?
then I think the terms of your charter say that after so many meetings, I'll look up the,
I didn't come across it. I mean,
I didn't see it either.
that's what we were looking for, not so much criminal matters, although I suppose there are some crimes that somebody probably shouldn't be serving on board.
right, like if you're doing embezzlement, that kind of stuff.
But if you just don't bother to come to meetings for 6 months or something like that,
Yeah, I thought your charter had that, but let me pull it up.
I haven't seen.
I didn't see it.
Okay, then you can add that in. I think maybe Federalsburg has, like, if you miss 3 consecutive meetings, then you can be voted to be removed by the other members.
Wouldn't it be 3 unexcused? I mean, somebody might be on vacation for
Sure, you
3
can.
months.
Who gets to go
How
on
many?
vacation?
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, somebody might be able to.
And I just want to make sure that the council cannot appoint anybody. It has to be a special election. Wherever we put that at, wherever
the
the
vacancies
charter is
are
going.
Vacancies.
Yeah, because I don't want anybody.
Yeah, that's under 206. So how many meetings would you all like for me to adjust this to?
Well, I think it has to be based on something, because what if I got cancer again and I had to be out
Sure.
months again or whatever, I mean.
We'll define absent too. Is that absent over the phone, over the computer, in person?
Unexcused, I mean, if,
I think there needs to be some ability for, like, for example, Joe went through the illness and was, you know, taking treatment for 3 months, but had every intention of coming back. Wouldn't want to kick that person off the seat, but if somebody just didn't come for no particular reason, they just didn't bother to show up or communicate with the rest of the council, then there ought to be perhaps some method.
I guess we can come up with a legal
Make sure
term for
nobody
that
gets
so
kidnapped.
that it's
Yeah,
not under health.
I can look at what Federalsburg does,
All right.
because they have a fairly, like, understandable
I think that
system
was for
for that.
boards.
Yeah.
How many people-
yeah, it was like Parks Board, if you missed like 3 consecutive meetings, they could throw you off.
Well, that's not elected either.
Correct, that's what I'm saying, that was a voluntary thing.
Yeah.
So and to address your question, right now, the rewrite of section 206 vacancies in the council, it still currently says either you appoint or there's a special election.
Yeah, I would
So
like
we
a
could-
special election if everybody.
we can talk about that one later.
I agree.
We'll talk about it.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But before we move on, I'm a little worried about the criminal part of it. I'd like to have that narrowed
Yes.
down.
It doesn't exist in your current code.
Yeah, and that's why I'm
Yeah.
leery of it. I mean, there are some crimes that I don't think somebody should be on the board, but then I guess it's up to the elected voters to decide whether or not they think it's appropriate.
Right, yeah, you don't want to get into the situation where you're interfering with an election because of how you feel about a certain kind of crime, unless it's really articulated in your charter.
Would you want to leave the conviction of a felony and not anything else?
Isn't that discrimination?
I don't know that.
You can't discriminate you can't discriminate against someone's voting rights based on their felony status. There's a couple of limitations, but there are no real, it is not against the law for the town to set its own limits about qualifications for council.
I mean, I don't know how everybody else feels, but I think that if we leave it to the people that are voting, they ought to have, they can vote however they want.
And this
Well,
is,
what we were after is somebody just doesn't bother to come to meetings anymore. Right now, there is no way
right.
to remove that person.
Well, and this is once they're elected, if they commit the crime or get a final adjudication on the crime once they're elected. This isn't, you can't run for office because of these
Gotcha.
things.
So then it would be up to the rest of the council to decide whether or not you should be on the council.
Well, what do you want it to,
We can also just take that whole thing out and we can rewrite
You've got the
something
letter
just
or.
about.
You've got the word "or" in there. It also
Missing.
says that if they're convicted while they're in office, they're either removed from office or the final determination hearing after the ethics commission. So you can refer to the ethics commission and make a recommendation one way or the other. Right?
Right now, the ethics commission really wouldn't have a voice on that. The only thing they really
It's
talk
less
about
ethics,
is
the more
money issues.
conflict of interest,
Yeah.
yeah. You can.
I would just take it out. I mean, that's my personal opinion, because, I mean, we're gonna say, oh, okay, what crime you can't run.
Right, and the crimes change.
How do we
Like,
pick and choose?
like what if over the course of
Be different.
their service, something they did went from being a felony to not being a
misdemeanor.
felony? Yeah.
Correct.
I can add,
I mean, whatever you all want to do, this is just, somebody put this in as a suggestion, so.
I'm with you. I think just take it out.
I mean, the people that are gonna vote are gonna do background, I mean, you can go in
well,
Maryland.
this is
judicial
after
case.
they get
She's
elected.
talking about.
Right.
Yeah, this is
Right.
after
Once
they
you
get
get
elected
elected,
that
I mean, I
they,
You can
guess
check people.
the
that
public's
say,
gonna
"I
know,
didn't
it's gonna be
You're
the
innocent
paper.
until proven guilty
correct,
under the law.
yeah.
But, like you said,
And their
if
term might be
if
over
somebody's
before they get,
accused of embezzlement, you could, work.
Court cases can drag on for years, you know, you're
Right.
an attorney, so their term might
But
come
actually,
and
would
go.
you want somebody, I mean, even if it was.
No, you
murder-
wouldn't want it, but I'm saying before
Right.
they're convicted,
Correct.
their term might be over. It might take them 4 years with appeals and everything else to
Well,
get
that's
through the
true,
system.
right.
This was added because someone had said they wanted it added. So I took a lot of suggestions from everyone and
Right.
incorporated it. So you make a determination whether you want it in or out or modified.
Now,
So,
I don't know how we can make
I mean, I guess that would almost be a judgment call too, depending on, couldn't it be as a council?
as
well,
needed.
it does say
As
final,
needed.
it does say final conviction. So,
Right, but like Kim said, it could drag out, they could run a whole
Yeah,
term,
then- well,
and
then-
then go to court on the 5th year.
but then
and
nothing happens to them though. I mean,
Right.
nothing,
And
because
so-
they're
so
not
sit beside
convicted.
us.
I think we take it out and let's deal with the person
Okay.
that just doesn't bother
Yeah.
coming.
So take out all of one?
Yes,
Without a good reason.
And 2 as well?
right.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll just put under forfeiture of office then
Unless
some
we can find
language
another
about
way to
missing
reword it.
meetings for, you know, not good reasons,
Right.
but more legal, and then get it back to you.
Good.
Um,
Two of three. We're all just gonna bust and busting, so.
I flagged the phrase eligibility of its members. I just need to check and see eligibility requirements might be determined by the person who's running for office or the Board of Elections or you all. I just need to look and see if that's already covered by a different entity. You are already the judge of the election and qualifications of your members, but the eligibility is a new addition, so I just need to look at that.
I do have one question too about the qualification of council members. It says that they have to be a resident of the town for at least 1 year. I don't know specifically what all it states in the charter currently for residency, but I know a neighboring town is running into an issue with someone running for council, and their name is not on the home because of their profession, and they had to get all of these documents to prove that they're a resident of the town. What does ours specifically say if you're not listed?
It says right there in black in front of you.
So what's in black is the charter right now, the current charter.
What
And then
section are
what's
you
in
talking
red?
about? Section,
I think it's always been, Kim, that you had to be a resident for at least a year in the town.
Yeah, that's all it says. It doesn't, it doesn't get any more
Doesn't specify,
specific.
right.
Okay. That's what I was asking more
Yep.
specifically, if somebody's name isn't on a house or whatever, is that
And
going
as
to
long as
be?
they can prove that they've lived here, I mean.
But renters, so it's
Okay.
not, renters.
So
live
renters
here.
can run?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a live here.
Okay.
Yeah, they live here, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just look at that one little issue.
Yeah. 203, the eligibility.
Yeah, and that came from me working with the Board of Elections too on that, because they had to certify all of the members. We went back and forth to make sure that we had everything done right.
That's what I'm checking, like,
Okay,
is
yeah.
checking eligibility actually a Board of Elections duty, not a council and
Okay,
mayor
I
and
gotcha,
council duty.
gotcha.
Okay, the next one is 204, the president of the council. From my reviewing this, it's been reworded in the red, but it essentially says the same thing, does it not?
Yes, I think this is where Councilmember Ernest has some language changes that she wanted to propose to.
For president of the council?
204, yep.
Okay, what is that?
The council shall elect from its members a vice president of council. The vice president shall act as the president of the council in the absence of the mayor. The mayor shall preside at meetings of the council when present. The mayor's role as presiding officer shall not be construed to make the mayor a voting member of the council, except as expressly provided in section 209 of the charter.
How's that any different than what it says now?
I think
You
what-
worded it differently, but I don't know that it has any real
You
relevant.
wanna clarify?
material changes to it, does it?
I'm
So the mayor, the
asking
only
the same
only
question.
time that the mayor can vote is when there's a tie.
Tie.
That's the way it is now.
Right.
Right.
So I'm,
And yes, the mayor is allowed to be a voting member when you need a quorum. It
So
doesn't,
if I'm not mistaken, wasn't it said before the mayor is CEO, now he's president? I mean, they're,
the mayor is the
Dinosaur?
chief administrator. He can vote when there is a need, but not in the normal course of business.
okay, so for sake of keeping things uniform, wouldn't it be CEO, not president?
And he's president of the council.
Oh, okay. So CEO of administration, president of the council?
I don't know. I don't know why, I mean, I'm
Where's
assuming,
that at?
it's under the powers of the mayor, as the chief
I'm assuming that what you
executive
would like
officer.
added is the language in bold. That language in bold basically is the same as section 209. I don't see why it would need to be added.
Okay.
So the mayor right now has right to vote, one, if there's only 3 council members present, including the mayor, 2 council members and a mayor,
Yes.
or if there's a tie vote, then the mayor would vote to cast a tie-breaking vote.
Yes.
And that's what it says. So,
Yep. And you get to, so if there were 3 council members and no mayor, that's a quorum. If there's 2 council members and a mayor, that's a quorum.
yeah, but it doesn't address whether the mayor's voted or not, because he's not there, or she,
Right.
whatever. Okay. Spend enough time on that. Unless somebody objects. Compensation, are there any changes recommended to that?
None from me.
All right. Vacancies in the council, and this is the one where Joe has talked about that the person should be elected, have a special election.
Right.
So take out the council shall appoint a qualified person until a special election.
I think that we have visited this section within the last 3 years, I guess, that I've been on the council. And if my recollection is correct, which that's a scary thought, that if, let's say Bobby resigned with less than 6 months to serve, that the council would then appoint somebody to serve as the remaining term of the vacancy.
I would say leave it open for the last 6 months,
Or you could leave it.
or leave it open.
And then you would hold an election at the appropriate time of the election that's coming up.
Yeah, I would say 6 months or less, leave it open.
So is it true that this is addressed in section 515 as well?
So section 515 says if there's a vacancy for any reason, the council elects a qualified person to fill a vacancy for the unexpired term. Same for a vacancy in the office of mayor. There is no time limit. There is no period of time after which you would just wait for the next election. It just says you vote to, you all pick and fill that spot until that term is up. That's the current system.
I
Yeah,
think we need a
we've done
special
both.
election.
Since I've been here, we've done both.
We have filled them in the past.
Yeah, I got appointed initially to take Brandon's spot. After an interview, there was an interview process, and they appointed me to the council. But then later on, there was a vacancy, and we had a special election.
Correct.
So,
And we had a special election because there was a lot of concern about a person being appointed and not, the public not having
and
the
we
right.
also did the interviews, and all 3 candidates were so great, and any one of them could have filled the spot, that it was easier to let the citizens decide instead of us.
Correct.
I just think, because we interviewed 3, and they all interviewed very well, and we're like, we just need special election.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with the special election, but I do have a problem with leaving a seat vacant for 6 months, because that becomes a quorum issue.
Well,
or could become a quorum issue where no business could be conducted.
well, my proposed amendment would be that the council fill a vacancy in the office of council member shall be interim only.
That's what it is. They're basically interim until the next
Until the
election.
Yeah,
Right.
the election.
But
And
then
they can choose to run in that election.
Yeah.
But like we
That's what
said,
it
if you have six, say somebody like me, I step out and it's got 6 months. Then we gotta go through the process of finding out who's gonna run. It's only gonna be a very short period of
Having an
time.
election.
Having the election,
Then turn around and have an election again.
correct. I mean, I get where you're coming from, Joe, but do you see where I'm coming from?
I do, I see where you're coming from,
Yeah.
I just wanted to
Because
be
then you're gonna have
fair.
somebody that's on
I
the
just
for
wanted
4
to
months.
be fair
It's-
because I'm the one that complained last time when
Right.
Christina ran because
Or-
I knew who was getting on this board before anybody did.
Well, can't you go back to the previous election and the next person with the next highest votes,
Steps in.
go to them? That eliminates the need for another election. You can
Yeah,
go
we
off
could-
the one that was already had.
Good.
You could do that, yeah. I mean, I don't have a problem, we'd have to word that
Mhm.
in
You
the
could.
structure.
You want.
That way the
to-
people have the choice.
If the person wants to come back, but then what if they
Then you
don't?
just go to the next person. That, like, okay, for instance, Paula and Bill ran.
I understand what you're
So
saying.
you go to
but
Paula,
assuming-
she has the next highest votes, and then if she doesn't want to do it, then you go to Bill.
I understand. What I was trying to say before you interrupted me was that if neither one of them want to do it, then what do you do? That's all I'm trying to say. You're back to the same boat you're in. now.
I mean, you can't vote on anything tonight, but.
Right.
We just need to
We
try to
could
come
make,
to a general
we need to
consensus.
get
You
generalization.
could just give some direction as to rewording and then present it.
Please be quiet.
So the other option is I don't know what other towns may have either that might be, because I know you know that
Queenstown only has a 3-person council or commissioners, and I think because they struggle to even get interested community members to run, they just recently had a death, and they interviewed publicly in public meetings 3 people who put their name forward, and then the council is allowed, the commissioners are allowed to select, just the same way your language is. They made a public decision at a public meeting after public interviews, and that person will serve the rest of the term, and then there'll be a normal election.
So should we do that between 6 months, if the person has 6 months or less?
Well, we could probably put all of this in there. We can put whatever we want, right?
6 months or
But
less?
you go to the next person, the person after that, and then if
Well, you can get
neither
into
one of
your
them want to do
selection.
it, then you could do that.
You can get into a whole separate thing on the selection. What we need to do is finalize the timeline. Is it going to be 6 months or less? Is it going to be 9 months or less? Anything less than a year? What's it going to be when we appoint versus having a special election?
I like the 6 months.
6 months.
Okay,
Yeah,
6
6
months
months.
works, I'm okay with it.
So if the seat is vacant for 6 months or less, then you will
Appoint.
appoint someone?
Yeah,
If
We'll
it's-
go through a selection process and appoint.
yes.
Or take her suggestion where you, then the nurse.
Well, that can be part of your selection process.
Correct.
You can
Yeah,
define
that
that
would
in
be-
another whole section.
Right.
Yeah.
So
We don't have
if there's less than 6 months left, you will appoint and you will
Go through a selection process.
go through a selection process.
So 6 months or less, leave vacancy open until an election, correct?
No, we're going to appoint.
We're gonna appoint. through
If
a
there's more
selection.
than 6 months, you'll do an election.
Correct.
Correct.
Or are we just going to refer back to the previous election?
I think you need to spell out how we're going to do the appointment in the charter.
Yes.
And then if you want to say first that you, let's say there was 2 people that ran for Kim's seat. And then the second person that didn't get elected had the second most votes, that would be the person the council would ask, would you be interested in serving out the remainder of the 6 months? And if not, then you conduct interviews, public interviews, and the council would select a person.
And if they run unopposed.
Kind of answers
then-
both models? Is that-
I can draft a couple versions if you
Okay.
want to take a look at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that'll be relevant for section 515 and section 206.
Okay.
hope somebody's taking good notes.
I am, I'm taking notes, we're gonna start the recording, so.
All right, 207, rules and order of business and public meetings.
I don't have anything. It's already how you do it.
Yeah, it's spelled out pretty
It's
simple.
just,
Okay.
It's just formatted different.
yeah.
There were some additions that might be beneficial, like I just mentioned about the absenteeism, remote participation. I know we've done that before, but is it actually in the charter?
I don't think it's written in the charter.
Or if I'm out, I can call in, or
Yes,
I can call
yeah.
in.
It's certainly allowed. I don't know if it's
We
a
don't need to
charter.
spell it out in the charter?
We can spell it out just so that it's clear, but it's not illegal to do it. Yeah. So we'll add remote participation to section 207.
Okay.
The other thing you could do, I don't see any harm in adding remote participation, but if you're determining your own rules of procedure and order of business, then in that document, you can lay out more specific so that as time changes the modes of communication, you don't have to redo a charter amendment just to address a language issue. You can just say, it's our policy that we have to be able to see your face or recognize your voice, or
Correct,
whatever your
right.
thing is. Yeah.
All right, the 208 meetings of the council. Obviously, that needs to talk about 6 o'clock.
So it's 6 o'clock, but also it's the first Monday, or the fourth Monday of November,
November.
is that right?
Yeah.
Well, no, actually,
Tuesday.
it should be
Oh, sorry,
December.
Thursday, it should be Thursday.
You're going to come to the first meeting after the first Thursday.
Is that right?
So the election would be held
First,
first week in November, then the elected would has to come in on the third week of November, would they be sworn in?
that's Thanksgiving, so you probably wouldn't,
So we
You want to do the first meeting in December?
yeah,
In December, okay,
the first Thursday of December.
got it, thank you.
Okay. So, anybody have any issues with 208?
Still reading.
Just 208 is just that first Thursday one.
I mean, in the red on down, it talks about some other things.
Yeah.
All right, 209 quorum. I think that's self-sufficient. What we just discussed about the mayor voting in the event of a tie, or if there was only 2 other council persons and the mayor.
Mhm.
Passage of ordinances. That would be, Jen, you have any issue with any of that?
The only thing I flagged in the red, partway down under public notice of ordinances, it says a summary of every proposed ordinance. That's normal, typical, but then if you go down to filing and publication, I don't think you have to then do that again, the summary of each ordinance. You have done your advertising, you've done your reading of it in public meetings, and then it's just filed.
So
The
just
way-
take out B.
So just take
take
out-
out
Yeah,
line
take out
B.
B.
Okay.
I think that's, yeah, B is not required for publication and filing. It just has to be available for anyone to come in and look at it during normal hours.
Are the ordinances that you were able to locate, have they been made available yet?
The ones that, so the ones starting for this year, they're up front, they are ready for anybody to come in that wants to look at them. All the rest of them are still with E-code right now.
Okay.
There's 274 that they have to review.
And I'm assuming, you said there's going to be a site for that, right? Where
Yes.
people can go on and view those?
Otherwise, this is all basically the same as we
So
normally.
it's formatted, they just spell it out.
Yeah, same deadlines, like not less than 6, not more than 60 days.
Right.
20 days later, it becomes effective.
Okay. All right, then in section 211 is referendum procedure. Do you have any issue with that?
In section 1, the fourth line there where it says, or any part thereof be submitted to a vote of the qualified voters, I would just add the phrase of the town. It's a little bit
Qualified
extra,
voters of the
Of
town.
the town, yeah, just so that it's
Voters
clear.
Of the town.
Yep.
Doesn't it say that?
It says that.
No, it says.
In the very
vote
first
of
one,
qualified voters.
number 1, right of referendum.
Do I have qualified voters?
It's the line
Oh,
below.
okay,
Yeah,
I
just-
gotcha.
It's just being
I gotcha.
repeated, but
Yeah, I gotcha.
I think it's better to be consistent,
Yep.
even though it's kind of repetitive.
Nope, got it.
Anything else?
No. Oh, yes. In section 9, notice of referendum, it says publication of a notice in a newspaper of general circulation or posting. That or should be and. It's set in statute, very heavily lobbied by the newspapers of general circulation, that all public notices are put in a newspaper of general circulation.
Okay.
So-
And instead of or posting?
Yeah, you can post it in as many public places as you want. You could even just say, and post in, and leave that number out if you
Isn't
want.
the legislature trying to do away with having it posted into the general circulation newspaper, given the
Certain jurisdictions are, because there isn't really a daily newspaper of general circulation. Like Southern Maryland has been trying for a while, a couple of the counties there, because they want to be able to post it in an online newspaper, but the newsprint lobby is still pretty successful. There may be a bill in this session, I'm not sure, but for now, the newspaper of general circulation is still the requirement. So yeah, just the or becomes an and.
Anything else
I think everything else was the same.
about council?
I didn't see anything else.
Do I?
No.
212, filing of ordinances.
It's fine with me.
That look pretty good.
Honestly, I wrote these.
So
Like
it
7
says
months ago.
they'll be permanently filed with the town of Nantucket, public inspection, the town will make them available for inspection during that. But we're not gonna have to worry about that anyway, because it's gonna be on E-code, right?
Right.
Should we add that or no? So we'll have
No,
that?
it still has to be here. It's still, like, the rule is
Still
they
keep
still
it.
have to be available, so like, say the internet dies, you have
And
to
in
be
10
able to-
years from now, E-code might not be here, so
Right.
you have something.
It's called a paper trail. You have to
Yeah.
have it.
Yeah, yeah, we do have a binder up front with all of the, yes.
Stick.
The analog method is still good for
Right.
this.
Okay. All right, and then section 301 is the selection and term of the mayor.
I think that's fine. It says first Thursday of December. That's how we did the other
Mhm.
election.
Correct.
Yep.
It says elected and qualified.
Same way council has to be qualified, can't be a,
Means you have to be eligible to run
Yeah.
the whole
Oh,
position.
gotcha. Okay.
I'm assuming that's what it
it says the mayor must be a qualified voter of the town as a resident.
means. Okay. So qualifications is similar to the same as council person?
Yes. Now that we've eliminated the felony language, they're identical.
All right, and then compensation follows the same.
Same rules as us.
Oh, sorry, let me back up. We're eliminating the language about being a felon, but do you also want me to draft some language regarding missing meetings to mirror the forfeiture of office from the council members?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Can't get out of going to meetings, I
Yeah.
guess. Okay, got it, thank you.
All right, and then powers and duties. This is the one where he talks about the mayor is the chief executive officer and head of the administrative branch of the county.
I'm gonna need a couple minutes, because this is a long, long section.
Oh, yeah, In section 304, the powers and duties, item B, currently item B has the sentence, everybody in that list shall serve at the pleasure of the mayor. That sentence isn't in the update.
See,
So-
I don't, so, this is what I don't understand. And it should take a council to fire not Tammy, Cindy, Brandon, chief, department head.
It does right now.
Now it says they serve at the
They
pleasure
serve
of
at
the mayor.
pleasure of you.
So essentially, you have the ability to fire, but the council has the ability to hire.
So, yes, the council, it's kind of like when the president appoints a
Definitely want
secretary
that.
of an agency, the Senate has to give advice and consent. You all are the Senate. You're giving your advice and consent, or not consent. The next sentence in the current writing says, all subordinate officers and employees. Oh, no, you're right. So you're right. It does say everybody serves at the pleasure of the mayor. We can change that if
I
you
don't know
want.
how everybody else feels. I mean,
Pleasure of
shit.
the council.
That's just
So-
my opinion.
Well, it could say
What I've
pleasure
been
of the
told by
mayor.
Lindsay in the past was that the mayor has the authority to appoint and fire department heads by and with the consent of the council. It can't do it independently. It has to be with the consent of the council to hire and fire. That's what I was
Yeah, but to your point, the way it's written,
Yeah, he
it
does
only
it all.
really says to hire, not to fire. So we
Correct.
can change that.
Well, I think it should go.
So this is where we ended up stopping when we were going over this with
Correct.
Lindsay a while back. We got right to this section, and David's right, that's exactly what she told us.
Yep.
And we just, all of a sudden, we quit going any further, but this is where we ended up right here.
Okay. So you can serve at the pleasure and get terminated at the pleasure with the advice and consent of council.
Correct.
So I'm just gonna give you my personal opinion on how the town has run since Cindy's been here. Nothing against you, right? Maybe this is the right way the town's supposed to be ran, okay? You see the whole way. Mayor, nothing against you. I talked to Bobby the other night, right? If the town gets sued for anything, our names are on it, right here, right? There's a lot of stuff that's going on with the town now that I don't know about. And I think that's wrong, because if a lawsuit comes up, my name's gonna be on that lawsuit. And what do I do? I mean, how can I defend myself if I don't know why somebody is not working? Somebody did this, somebody did that. I think that's wrong as an elected official. I'm gonna be named on a lawsuit that I don't know why that person's not here or anything. That's just the way I feel, and I talked to Bobby about that. We've never been through this before. It was never a hush-hush thing where we didn't know.
Right.
Am I right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but the laws have changed, and any personnel matter, we can't openly discuss. And if it doesn't involve us as the individual, then we're not supposed to know about it.
Well, we're elected officials, we're council members that sit up here. Why wouldn't we know?
Because we're the administrative branch.
But we've never done it like
Legislative
that.
branch.
But I'm just saying, we've never handled it that way.
But let me just
I
say.
mean, I'm
this
just
too.
saying,
No.
if it's the right way, but I just had to
So
tell you
the
how
other side
I
of
feel.
this, the other side of this is, if for some reason there's a lawsuit,
Right, I'm just
we're
saying.
gonna go into executive session and you are gonna be made
Gotcha.
aware of that.
Okay, I'm just
There is
worried.
no
Yeah.
lawsuit currently with the town.
Right,
I don't know where that rumor has gotten from, but there is no lawsuit against the town.
I got you.
So, if there was, by all means, I'll bring it up in executive session and it'll be discussed because that is something that you need to know about. So,
It's just like when earlier, Joe, when you come on, you said you want to be a police commissioner. Well, we always used to have, if I got hired, I was the.
Public Works, right,
Right, but if you look at the charter, the only board member, or only council member that sits on any board
right.
is planning and zoning.
Right, but what gets me is that it just stopped this year.
Well, it's because we started following the rules. Lindsay, after we started doing this and going through the charter, when we got to that, that's when Lindsay explained to us. Lindsay, like with you guys, that's not the way it is. The only one that has to be on a board is planning and zoning.
Right,
So that's why it stopped.
gotcha,
Yeah,
okay.
Lindsay
I just
actually-
didn't understand, like, why did it automatically
Yeah,
just
she,
stop?
we were doing the charter with Tammy, we were going
Right.
over section by section, and Lindsay explained it to us,
And we stopped.
and that's why we stopped.
Okay. Right. I mean, I voiced my opinion, that was it. Because I've been so involved, even when I was mayor, to let my council people know, we was never in a blind on anything. Even, and it's just new to me, so
I get it all the time. How are you on council and you don't know?
I just,
Like how many-
but if we're running it the right way, then we'll continue to run it the right way. But I just feel, I mean, it just upsets me that, like, the relationships I used to have with my employees that work for the town, I don't even hear from them anymore, because they're so scared to give us a phone call, because they're jumping chain of command. It shouldn't be like that. This is not a dictatorship. This is, you know what I mean? They should not feel that they can't call me. I'm just saying, I used to hear from employees all the time. I don't hear from nobody no more because they're scared to even call us.
Well, how do you know they're scared? How do you know that?
Because they don't call no more.
Yeah, but how do you know they're scared that they're just
Maybe
aren't
they're-
satisfied? Look, we've done a lot of training
Right.
in here.
Oh, I
Let's move
understand that.
people around. I mean,
Right, I understand, but I'm just saying, they don't, I think they're just, I don't know. I just don't, I don't know.
I think it's crazy that we're advised not to reach out to council direct, or legal counsel directly.
That costs money.
Yeah,
That's a budget issue.
It costs more money to get it wrong.
No, but that's a budget issue, because we can't control that. Yeah, if I start calling her,
You
and
make a
you
bad
start calling
decision
her, and
because you
next
get
thing you
bad
know, you've got
information?
5 bills for 5 different things, that showed us the same thing. Yeah, that gets expensive, and you can't control that if you allow that to happen.
Think of it this way, if I whisper something in Joe's ear right now, and then he whispers it to the mayor and so on and so forth,
By the time it gets to me, it's going to be screwed up.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a 5-year-old kid's game. I'm familiar with it.
well, it still applies to everyday life, that's
That's why
how
when we
it
sit at these
works.
meetings, we have the lawyer, and we get one opinion.
Yeah, when we're already here and have to make a decision,
can we get back on track?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
sorry.
There's
I
a
just
lot
had to
that has
voice
be
my
done.
opinion. It's
We
just
really need to get back on
different.
track. I'm sorry.
So it's section 304, one other thing in there is item C, as in the black language. It says reports and recommendations, the mayor each year shall report to the council. That's been removed in the red, so I just wanted you to be aware in case you wanted to get an annual report from the mayor.
Is it like the budget, or are you just talking about just a financial?
I don't know, it's
Yeah.
charter language, and I just wanted to point
I was
out
thinking
that
it was a
It's
budget
just-
item.
it may be like a state of the town, I don't know. I have not,
Have you ever done that?
No, I'm not there
I
yet.
just figured
What's
it's
that?
during budget time of setting the budget and
That's it, only work with the town manager with the council. But we didn't.
you'll be getting financial reports once
The
we
mayor
get on.
never
No.
prepared.
Well, that's probably why I didn't put it in there. Like I
That's
said, I
prepare
sat
things
down
as
and did
presents.
get some
That's the way it's
recommendations.
That's the way it's always.
just making sure you were aware that that was something you were doing or
I
supposed
think
to be doing.
the way I've been told, look, I shouldn't. Well, when I got this mayor job back 2 years ago, when the previous town manager was here, there were a lot of issues. And I was not allowed to do anything. Couldn't ask questions, wasn't given any answers. What started us down this whole path of who does what is because of that. And so we have been listening to the town attorney, who has told us how the town government operates. Town council is the legislative branch of the government. The mayor is the one that's in charge of the administrative part of the budget and the town. If you have 5 different council people running the town, then how can any town manager or anybody running the town answer to 5 different bosses? You can't do it. And those towns that have a weak mayor system don't bother with the town administration. They don't ask them, why are you doing this? Where's this for? Why are you getting money for this? I want to see this budget. I want to see this. I want to see it. They don't ask that. They allow the town manager, you hire a town manager that is competent and does their job, and you allow them to do their job, and if they don't do their job, then you fire them. Changing the system doesn't fix it. All it does is allow you to have 5 people trying to run the town, and that doesn't.
Okay, so let's forward think a little bit about what you're saying. You're retired, you have the time to come up here every day and sit with the town manager and get as much information as you want. You ran unopposed for mayor. It's been a struggle to get people to run for positions because they don't have the time to dedicate. So think beyond your sitting seat right now. In the future, when somebody else goes to run for mayor, are they going to have the time to dedicate to come up here every day as one person? Or would it make it be smarter for it to be spread across 5 people?
So let me
That can balance
tell
that.
you, since you don't know what I do every day since I'm retired, and I earned my retirement, by the way, and if nobody chose to run against me as mayor, that's not my fault.
I didn't say it
Well,
wasn't.
I'm just pointing it out. I come up here every day, you're right, because I have the time to come up here. I think that's a good thing. I don't run the town on a day-to-day basis. I come up here, I check in with her, see what's going on, ask any questions, whatever's going on, how can I help? Other than that, I'm going about my business because we have a town manager who I let run the town.
You just missed my whole point. My point is,
Nobody can
You
work for
really-
5 bosses.
you're only thinking about the right now. You're not thinking about after your term is up. We'd have to have another retired person or somebody
You
that,
know, Johnny Grove was a mayor and he worked.
but were you up here every day like that?
Nobody has that communication established.
I trusted my town manager.
Exactly.
Exactly.
At the time.
I'm just thinking it would be easier.
But that's the only thing, what I'm saying was, I guess we wasn't doing it correct with the charter, that there wasn't anything hid from, not even hid. I don't even want to say it that way. I guess it wasn't, we wasn't running
We're
it.
aware, yeah.
We wasn't running it the correct way that it's supposed to be ran, so, that's why I think it's hard for me with the changes, because, sitting up
I think
here,
what happened
you
in
know
the
what I mean?
past is that the town managers either didn't make,
Right.
wouldn't make, or didn't know how to make the decisions, so they allowed you to make them for you.
Correct,
And
correct.
that's what happened.
Correct, that's basically what it is. Like I said,
And-
no hit. We've never had a strong town, really, a really strong town manager. We really
And
haven't.
look, just for the record, Kim, I'm not advocating keeping the system the way it is now because I want to be mayor forever. 2 years, whoever wants this seat can have it. I've had enough of it. But I'm telling you, you can't run a town when you got 5 people trying to run a town. You all make the legislative decision, you hire a town manager, and you let the town manager run the town. All the mayor is then is a referee. And that's what I feel like I'm now. I'm a referee between this, that, and the other. This problem's this and this, complaining about this. It gets old. I just see you not coming here every day. You want to hear half of it.
And you got to think of all the money that she has saved us with this. I mean, we've gotten the budget on track now. We still have a little bit to go, but it's all on track. She saved with a lot of cuts. We probably saved $200,000.
Aren't we off track again?
Yep.
You don't need to worry about where we're on track or not. Just sit back there and listen, okay?
I've been listening.
Thank you.
I don't,
Watch your tone.
I mean, we did get off track, but we're not really on schedule with the budget because we don't,
Well, we're talking about the mayor's position, which is why I brought all that. It got nothing to do necessarily with the budget. But you all make the decision so we can do what you want. I just wanted to, you had your say about, in the beginning, I wanted to have my say, that's all. We disagreed.
And like I said, we were elected as a legislator, so I think that's the way we should keep it.
So just to recap section 304, so I have it right, I'm gonna add the language about serving at the pleasure and getting terminated at the pleasure, and the council will advise on both hiring and firing.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
how many sections are we doing this evening?
I would say we're pretty good if you want to end it on that so that we can do exactly.
It's up to the council.
That's also coincidentally where my review had ended,
Okay.
so.
Okay, that worked out
That works out perfect.
See, I tagged the page.
Good.
Oh, all right.
All right, so then I will look for a motion to move into executive session.
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll
All in
second.
favor? All right. Thank you.
So Kim, this
So
is your statement?
these will be done.
Yes.
So I'm gonna put that up.
I just want to put your name in this, so I know for my notes.
Start here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna put it all.
Did you make the motion just now for
Kim
this?
did, and then
who
Joe.
seconded? Thank you. I just gotta note it for the form.